What's good, people? It's your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, before we get started, let me ask you guys, how is your trading going? Can you imagine? This is September and we are about to go into October, which means we are getting closer to the end of the year and we still have so many things that is supposed to happen. You know, we already know the Fed's already made a decision on the rate cuts, but we are still waiting on the biggest news of the year, which is going to be the election. So I know this election year is going to be crazy between, Kamala Harris and Mr. Donald Trump. So we don't know who is going to win, but let me tell you one thing though. Whoever is going to win this election is definitely going to affect how the market reacts. So there are going to be certain stocks that are going to be favored, while some certain stocks are most likely going to suffer. So you know, if Trump wins, then it's most likely going to favor all those Dow Jones, make America great type stocks like Caterpillars, like the Home Depots, all those American companies, the Boeings, to make them stronger. But now, if Kamala does win, the tech companies are going to be the ones who are going to be leading the market. So you just have to wait to see how things go. But don't worry, don't let me dive into all that politics. But one of the reasons why I'm actually shooting today's video is because we are also getting closer to earnings period. Earnings period is here, and we're about to start looking at those companies that are doing well while they report their last quarter earnings. Now, there was something that I figured out while I was looking at my indicators, and I was able to see a certain way where we can actually just predict and pick what particular earnings would most likely be a good one we want to play. Again, I'm not the type of person that would advise for trading earnings, because when you trade earnings, you also have to understand that there is a lot of volatility that would most likely happen. And if you're trading earnings, when I mean trading earnings, you're trading it with options, then there's a big chance that you could lose all your money. So if you're going to be trading earnings, I would urge you to always please apply risk. Make sure you know your risk appetite, know how much money you're willing to lose before you play those options when it comes to earnings, because if it goes against you, you're definitely going to get hit by that IV crush. So again, I'm going to be showing you guys this indicator that I found out, and it's helped me to kind of like determine what earnings not to play and what ones to play exactly. For example, last week we played MU was a good one, which is Micron. And we also played Zoom. I liked Zoom when Zoom came out the last time. I'll show you on the chart what that looked like. And Nvidia, on my last video, I posted a video about Nvidia and why I did not like Nvidia. And you guys can go watch that video. Again, don't let me blab too much. Let us get into the charts and let me show you guys how I use these indicators to predict what's going on in the market. So here on the chart, I'm looking at the MU, which is Micron Technology, and MU actually released their earnings on this date. Let me open my cursor here, which was what was this date here? Yeah, 26 September, Thursday. So last Thursday. So there were a couple of factors that I need to see on the chart before I can decide if I actually want to play a particular earning. So for those of you who are familiar with the way I do things, the first thing I normally look for is my primary indicators. In this case, I want to know what my primary indicators are doing. So if it's a green arrow and a B sign, then that is telling me this is most likely going to be a buy position. But if it's a red arrow and a red and an S sign, and that's telling me this is most likely going to be a sell position, which means we're going to be shorting the market in that case. So you can see prior to the earnings, the most current signal was the green arrow and the B sign. So this was a buy. So now once I see that, I also want to look at my baseline. So my baseline is this red and green line. So if it's going to be a buy, the price, which are these candlesticks, must always be above the baseline. So you can see that the day of the earnings, that the candle was actually above the baseline. So I like that. That was a good sign that this is actually in line with this buy signal. Now, the next thing I want to start looking at is my secondary indicators. My secondary indicators are also kind of like a backup indicator, which gives me more confidence in why I think this potential earnings could go up based on just using technicals. I know fundamentals are still always going to be key, but I am strictly a technical indicator trader, so I solely depend on this. But kudos to those of you who also use fundamentals as well. So once I make this confirmation, the next thing I want to do is let me just put like my quick line here just to mark that candle. So on this day I picked up some calls, but why did I pick up those calls? I started looking at my secondary indicators below. So the first thing I looked at is going to be my one line cross for my zero line cross. So I'm going to expand my zero line cross. So it's very simple. The green line is my signal line and the white line is my zero line. So whenever the signal line trades above the zero line, then that is a buy. And if the signal line happens to be below the zero line, then that's going to be more of a sell signal. So you can see on this day, which was this yellow line, the day before the earnings, we can see that the signal was above the zero line. So that was the buy, which also matches what we saw on my primary indicator. The next thing I look at is my two line cross. The two line cross is this one right here. You can see we have a red and we have a green line. So now the way this works is whenever the green line is above the red line, then it's a buy. But if the red line is above the green line, then that is a sell. So you can see on this day we had the green line above the red, so I liked it, and that is also a buy signal. We kind of match what we saw on the primary indicator. The next one is this indicator that I like very well. It's very simple. All you just have to know is that whenever you see a green arrow and the green bars, then that is a buy. If you see a red arrow and red bars, then that is a sell. So you can see on the day of signal, the most current signal was a green arrow and the current color is green as well. So this is telling me this is a buy for this indicator. So I have 1, 2, 3 checks on 3 buys along with the primary indicator telling me that this Micron technology earnings could be a potential banger. So now I'm looking at one final indicator or one more indicator. It's very simple. It's also a zero line, but it also has an upper and lower boundary, and the purple line is the signal line. So you can see if the signal line is trading below, so it's trading between the upper level and the middle level, then that is a buy, which was the case on the day of the Micron prior to the earnings. You can see the signal line is trading below the middle, the upper and the middle. But if it's middle and lower, then that's going to be more of a sell signal. So we also got a buy signal for this indicator. So we've got 4 indicators indicating that this could go to the upside. And let's look at one more. So you can see this is also another 2 line cross indicator. So you can see we have a green and red line. If the green is above the red, then that is a buy. If the red is above the green, then that is a sell. But you can see on the day of the entry, we have the green above the red, so that is a buy. So that is also another confirmation. So you can see we got not just 1, we got 2, 3, 4, 5 confirmations that are also in line with what we have on the primary indicator. So this gives me a lot of confidence that this MU is most likely going to run. And you can see on the chart that this actually, when they released the earnings, the MU stock actually went all the way from the close of the day, which was 95, and went as high as 115 the next day. And actually I bought 105 calls, as you can see on the screen. Well, how did I pick those that call? I played the weekly. And how did I pick that call? I used my resistance to see what the last number was. So you can see, looking at my resistance right here, right on MU, when the resistance was here where we got rejected, I was seeing the numbers like 108. So I figured, oh, what is the number that's close to 108? And I looked at 105 was a little bit closer, and that was how I picked what my strike would be. And you can see on the screen I placed the 105 call, and this actually did about almost 400%. So you can see this is one of the beauties of playing options. But in order for you to play options, you have to be able to know which one to play prior to the earnings call. So again, just to show that this is not a fluke, let me just quickly show you another one that I played, which was, I believe, Zoom, where's Zoom, ZM. So Zoom last earnings. So you can see last earnings. What do you see? You see the green arrow and the B sign right there, right? And you can see this is the earnings date. So I'm going to put my yellow line again so we can track it. So you can see that's the day before the entry. So you can see we are currently at 60. So what happened? I started looking at this day. I looked at my one line cross. You can see the signal line above the 0, so that's a buy. You can see also the 2 line cross You can see the green above the red, that's the buy. You can also see this other indicator. We have a green arrow and green bars, that's the buy. And we also see the signal line of this other zero line indicator with the upper and the middle boundary with the signal being in between. So that's also a buy. And if you look at the last two line cross, you can see the green is above the red. So that was also a buy. So again, I saw this setup prior to the Zoom call. I liked it. I picked up a couple of calls on this as well. So you can see this actually went from 60 and went as high as 68 the next day. In fact, this actually rallied for a couple more days and went as high as 72 before it started pulling back. So you can see, again, simple indicators like this and having simple rules like this can actually guide you into earnings. But like I said, earnings is very, very risky, but you can also take advantage of the volatility to get those 3, 4, 5x type option plays. Again, this is your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes. I hope you guys have learned something, and if you have, please do like, share, and subscribe right now, because this is the best YouTube channel for Forex right now. You can't deny that. Again, this is your boy Cincy, and let's make some small money together, even if it's just a little.